Hey guys, Martin Mentor here, back with another video. All right, this video I want to talk very quickly about curbside final mile. All right, I think there's a lot of confusion about the whole final mile lane. I think when people think about it uh, in an aspect of possibly approaching this lane to run their business, and they think solely of large, heavy things, carrying them in homes, hooking them up, assembling them, things of that nature. All right, there's 4 different formats of final mile delivery, and there's one format that if you get with the right company, or if you get with a company that only deals with this format, it is a lane in final mile that you can do with one person where you don't have to enter the home. I've spoke on it on some live streams, and that's curbside final mile delivery. All right, so there's 4 different types of final mile delivery. You have curbside, some call it curbside, some call it front door. Same thing, but I guess it can be different, but because there is a specific where you literally just drop it off a curb, and then sometimes the front door. So same thing, same concept, but you don't enter the home either way. The second would be threshold, which is you're carrying whatever it is past the threshold. The customer has an option, either they want it through the front door or the back door. Once you cross that threshold, you drop it right there. All right. The third would be room of choice, where you're bringing it into the home and you're putting it in the room of choice. It may be on the main level, it may be upstairs, it may be downstairs. All right, that's the third tier. And then the fourth tier, which is the granddaddy of them all, would be white glove, where you're bringing it in, room of choice, you're removing all the packaging, you're setting it up, you're assembling it, you're removing the garbage, the plastic, styrofoam, cardboard from the home, you're putting that back on the truck, you're cleaning up behind yourself, you're doing the full shebang. And that's the top tier of final mile delivery. All right, so the purpose of this video, I want to talk about curbside final mile delivery. All right, a lot of people, and here's the thing, when I put it in the thumbnail and I say another option that may be better, it may be better for some people. It may not be better for everybody. All right, but there are a lot of people that are struggling with middle mile because they don't want to go over the road, or they have drivers that don't want to go over the road, or they're finding it hard to hire people based around the fact that no one wants to really go over the road. So they're looking for another alternative to run their truck more locally, and it may help to attract more candidates. Also with like Amazon, a lot of people that complain about Amazon, it's not enough money. They can't figure it out. You know, you're deadheading back. It's not enough money. Whatever the situations may be, I'm presenting you another option outside of middle mile and outside of Amazon Relay, which is in the final mile, that is something that can be done final mile by yourself. All right, so let's talk about curbside final mile delivery. I'm gonna make the video quick as possible, try to keep it under 10 minutes. All right, so there are some carriers that you can get with that only focus on curbside. They may focus on others, but they have curbside routes only. All right. So basically what a curbside final mile delivery is where you're delivering items that are palletized. Most times than not, they're bigger, bulkier items. They're palletized, and it's going to require a 26-foot truck with a lift gate. This is not something that you can run with a 26-footer without a lift gate. You must have a lift gate, and you're going to remove those items from your truck, and you're going to drop them at the curb. If you're nice and it's the rainy day and they have a attached garage, you can pull it in the garage. All right. All right. So you're dropping it at the curb. All right. Requires one guy. You're going to need a pallet jack and a lift gate. All right. All right. So some of the perks that curbside final mile delivery can bring is it only requires one guy, like your middle mile and your Amazon Relay, right? Your home daily. Most run within 150 air miles, so you're probably not going to have to use your log. That's something that you could probably get rid of. That subscription, your home daily. Money. A lot of people are concerned about the money. An average curbside final mile delivery pays around about $50 a stop. About $50 a stop, which is really good money for one person and their truck. Even if you are operating curbside final mile delivery as an owner operator and you're not on the truck, there's enough money with the amount of stops that you can put onto a 26-foot truck where you can see a decent profit versus some of the other lanes that you run, middle mile, Amazon, where the margin may be a little bit smaller and makes it harder for you to make a little profit if you have a driver out there, if you're not doing it yourself. Average is about $50 a stop, one man, and it's dedicated. It's dedicated if you get with the right carrier. This is something that you don't have to worry about going on a load board, looking for routes and things of that nature. Load out is at 5:30, 6 a.m. As long as you are there every day, 5:30, 6 a.m., whatever time the load out is, they're going to have the freight for you if you're with the right company. They have the right accounts. All right. You're going to have your stops every single day. You just go where the stops are, but you don't have to worry about looking for loads and things of that nature. It does require a lift gate, like I said. What you're going to be delivering. All right. So curbside final mile delivery is usually bigger, bulkier things. It could range from anything from a sofa. All right. How are you going to put you probably think, how are you going to put a sofa on a pallet? So what happens is if you order something, let's say online, from an online furniture store that may not have a full logistics, they're running they have an account with, let's say, a middle mile freight carrier that does final mile. It's not like a company that handles like a lot of big e-commerce final mile, like your IKEAs and things of that nature, where they offer a full range of in-home delivery. They're just going to drop it at the curb. So a lot of your freight carriers that are entering into the middle final mile lane are just doing curbside, like your RL carriers and things of that nature. RL carriers, CH Robinson has one. Ryder has a curbside delivery platform, things of that nature. So what happens if you order something from like a small time, let's say online furniture store, they're just with a freight broker that picks up from wherever their manufacturer or their third party into that, and then they middle mile it to their warehouse. It goes through their system, and then they're just dropping it at the curb. All right. They're dropping at the curb. You see a couch, it's going to be on a longer pallet. Sometimes it's two pallets put together, and it's delivered like that. Everything has to be palletized. All right, everything is on pallets. All right. Another thing you see a lot of for curbside is like if you go online to, like, let's say Floor and Decor or one of these flooring places that have an online store, you may be doing your kitchen and you order your tile online, maybe a pallet of floor tile. All right, something that's not going to be brought into the home. It may be a pallet of, let's say floor tile, let's say a pallet of bricks. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a few pallets of bricks. It may be a pallet with a drum of soap. It may be a car wash that's ordering a drum of soap, a 55-gallon drum of soap, and the drum is on a pallet and it has the band strapped. It's band strapped to the pallet, and it may be a drum of soap that gets delivered to the dock or the front door of a car wash. You know, bigger, bulkier things is what you see for curbside delivery. And some of them may actually go into the business. You may get some dock stuff there. But if it's going residential, it's going curbside, and it only requires one man. So you can see a range of different things when you're doing curbside final mile delivery. So a lot of heavy pallets. Another thing which I want people to start thinking about, and it's like I always say, when you're running a business, all right, especially a business like this, I want people to really get in the habit of doing their R&D, their research and development, and running their business in the present, but their mind is in the future. I always tell people, like, mentally, I'm in next year. All right, I'm in 2023 already mentally, even though physically I'm operating day to day in 2022. Right, mentally I'm already preparing and planning on next year. All right, so you have to run your business like that. You have to think about, look, I don't want to be like one of these companies of the past that no longer exist, that technology came in and replaced it. You know, I always talk about on my live streams, your Borders, your Barnes and Nobles, your Kmart, your Ventures, your Zayres, your Ames, your Montgomery Wards. I always use these companies, your KBs, your FAO Schwartz. I use these companies, I use these names a lot, and I know sometimes it goes over some people's heads because they may be of they may were not around during that time. They may be younger, but to the older people that know what I'm talking about, you know, those people that sat on those boards, they never thought technology would come and put them out of business. They couldn't foresee that. A lot of things back in the 90s just sounded too futuristic, and they were old and stuck in their ways, and they never thought that the things that we're living in today now would never come into fruition. When you got guys like Elon Musk back then when he was developing PayPal, and when you had Amazon with Jeff Bezos, and then the guys that were building Google and things of that nature, a lot of the things that they said they were planning to do, those guys that have been sitting on those boards running these companies for 50, 60 years at this point, they laughed at it. But guess what? Now they're out of business. Same thing. A lot of people are laughing at the fact of autonomous vehicles, autonomous trucks. I keep telling you guys, Amazon ordered 1,000 trucks. They told you, look, we ordered our first 1,000 trucks last year. All right. Autonomous. What lane do you think they're going to run? I know some people are going to get mad, but here's the fact that remains. I'm not one of those people that I've lived enough to see things happen. So I don't put nothing past nobody or nothing. I've seen things that people say they're doing and live 20 years later to see it actually happen and see businesses get wiped out. So when I see something, they say, look, these trucks are going to replace the middle mile. It's going to put 500,000 drivers out of work. I truly believe it, because guess what? They're already running. They're already running in some markets. Amazon ordered 1,000 last year, and once that first 1,000 hit, that's going to replace a lane that does not require a human. Middle mile. Not final mile. Final mile requires some type of human interaction, right? Because you got to take the stuff off the truck and bring it on the lift gate. If it's curbside, you got to drop it at the curb. If it's going in the house, threshold, room of choice, white glove, you got to bring it in, set it up, things of that nature. Final mile is going to require human interaction. Fully autonomous semi-trucks are going to replace the middle mile, not the final mile. And like I said, some people are going to get upset when they hear this, because they and I'm not speaking to anybody in specific. I'm talking to everybody that's in middle mile. You know, listen, you have to plan for the future. Don't let technology put you out of business because you're so caught up in the day to day and you're not doing your R&D and planning for the future. So curbside final mile delivery is something that you can do by yourself. It can't get replaced by technology nowhere in the near future. Listen, Google bought Waymo. The trucks are built, guys. They're already testing them. Walmart is already running them. They're running in some corridors already. Amazon ordered 1,000. They're waiting on their shipment. They're not going to get the 1,000, the first 1,000, and just park them in their lot and look at them and say, hey, we got fully autonomous trucks, and not utilize them. They're going to be utilizing them, and once they become utilized, it's going to start slowly replacing middle mile drivers from your Amazon freight partners to your Amazon Relay and even Walmart. They're already running with Gatic. They're using Gatic. All right. And they're replacing drivers, and they're running that corridor from Dallas to Houston and back. All right. And you got other companies that are doing it as well that have ordered. They're waiting on their first shipment. All right. So not to get off topic, guys, getting back to curbside final mile, for those of you that have been struggling with the middle mile, that have been struggling with Amazon, here's another option that you can utilize one person to do delivery, not going to the home. Some of those pallets are going to be heavy, guys. All right. But at the end of the day, you're not lifting, going up and down stairs. You're going to have to be capable of pulling some of those heavier pallets out onto your lift gate, being able to turn it around without it tipping over. So that does require some level of skill set. Lowering it down, you may have to pull a pallet up a driveway, things of that nature. Some of these pallets will be heavier because you don't know, what it could be. A 55-gallon drum of soap. It could be a 55-gallon drum going to, like, let's say a Jiffy Lube of oil. You know what I'm saying? It could be a pallet of floor tile, ceramic floor tile. It will vary, you know what I'm saying? So another option for you guys, thought I'd put it out there to give you guys something to think about. www.boxtruckcourses.com for your one-on-one mentorship with me, Mark the Mentor. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all the upcoming videos. I'm out.